Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. In today's video, just come spend the evening with us. We got a few little things going on. First thing I want to show you, we started some pepper seeds here a week or two ago, ain't it? Something like that.
About 2 now.
Yeah, and so I'll show you all our
See
little
what
babies.
They look like so far.
We got them sitting out here on the hood of the vehicle just so they can get some sun and, you know, it's a warm place for them to sit. But all these are peppers. In all honesty, y'all, we've never, not that I can remember, started peppers from seeds, have we? We usually buy plants.
We started habaneros one time.
Yeah. And so we thought we'd just give it a try because, like I said, we usually do buy plants, like plant starts for peppers. But we're just going to see how it goes. We're going to have lots of peppers if all those live.
Ain't that the truth?
So we'll see. We're going to see. We've got some really hot ones in there because Andy says that he wants really hot peppers. So we've got Mad Hatter pepper, which I'm pretty sure is really hot. Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, we know that one's hot.
And habaneros. I told him he can eat them. I love hot stuff, but some of these peppers I think are just too hot.
Yeah, they probably are.
They're
I
too
just
hot
wanted to grow them because they're a cool looking little pepper.
That's true. That's true. So that'd be a good add, I think, maybe to my chow chow too, to give my chow chow a little more heat. I think that would be good. We'll see. So, but anyways, we've got some onion bundles. I've got some housework I've got to go in here and do, but Andy and the kids are going to go out here and plant some onions.
Yep, it's wet too.
Yeah, so.
But it's one of those things where I've got anxious and I'm ready to get them done. So no matter what, I'm getting these onions planted this evening. So we have decided to plant the onions out here in this bed along here where we had garlic last year. Right here's our garlic this year, which seems to be doing pretty good. We've got a little bit of chickweed coming in it. Boy, since we've been getting this warm weather, chickweed and the henbit have popped out everywhere.
What's henbit?
Henbit is that stuff right along the fence line over there. It's got that purple flower on it.
What's that called?
This is chickweed.
Looks like there's some chickweed over there by whoever that is.
Yeah, there's chickweed everywhere.
There's just like little clumps of it.
Yep. So, for the last 2 years, we've planted our onions in the raised beds out here. Well, we still got some collards and greens and all that stuff growing out there, and I've only got maybe like 2 opened raised beds. So we've decided, since we have so many onions, we're going to fill up this bed right here, and then if I fill that one up, I'm going to this bed right out here and fill that bed up. So in each bed, we've got 2 rows made up. There's a row there and a row there. And I'm not going to plant anything out there because that tends to be a little more shady right out there on that end. And we've noticed that especially onions and the garlic don't really do that good out there. So look out here. Got my steers out there in the garden this evening, eating on that clover. Once again, if y'all hadn't seen that before, that's why I think it's really nice having this garden attached to my actual fence over there, so we can turn whatever animal in and let them eat in the garden. And this is just a huge pile of leaves that I've got laying out here. That'll be mulch later on, and then I've got a couple of piles of leaves that I dumped in that bed up there. If we end up planting in that bed, I'm gonna spread those out, and I'm gonna spread them out over top of the bed before I actually plant in it. So this will actually be the first time ever though that we've planted onions in an area and we're not tilling it up first. We've kind of sort of been experimenting with something new on these 3 beds out here in the yard. And I mean, I am going to till them on occasion, but that's sort of like my goal with these is sort of like minimal tillage, just to try it out and see how it works. And I can show you that the ground under here, under this hay, like, look at that. I mean, it's just it's almost like it's been tilled. So it's really good dirt out here. So we're going to give that a try and see. So Jacob, show them our bundles of onions here.
Them are red onions, purple onions.
I think both of those are yellow onions.
These are both. I thought one of them was white and one of them was yellow.
No, I just got 2 bundles of the yellow. We picked those up the other day at a local feed and seed store. So
It also has coyote tractors.
So we're going to get them in the ground. So down this bed here, we've got a bed width about like that. And I'm going to plant 2 rows of onions here. So I'm going to have 2 rows going long ways with the bed. And I believe that'll give us plenty of room for our onions to grow. I know it says on the pack to have them about 4 inches apart. I'm going to go just a little bit farther than that. Just to make sure they've got plenty of room to do what they need to do. So, being that I'm so accustomed to using tillage and stuff in the garden, and you know, we still pretty much till everything. These are really, this and our raised beds are the 2 spots that really don't get tilled. And so,
You broke your stick.
I broke my stick. So it just makes me a little bit nervous to plant something like this, especially a root crop in an area that I haven't tilled up. But, you know, that seems to be the new thing. Everybody's doing no-till, no-till, no-till. All these no-till garden beds and everything. And I thought I'd at least experiment with it a little bit. But you can see right here, like, we haven't done anything to this bed since last fall. This is the remnants of the cow peas that were growing here. And so, right, this is true no-tilling here. I mean, at least I feel like it is. Our mulch is it's pretty much hay. We took and laid down a good layer of hay on top of this to overwinter it. Just kind of poke it around it, just so it'll be snug. Yep. Here, I guess you need to keep those back there.
That's a big one.
Yeah, them are some pretty onions.
And the roots are all connected on them.
Those are some really pretty onion starts. Like you're doing pretty good, Jacob.
I've almost caught up with you.
It's one thing that I've noticed about these no-till spots that we're doing right here. They are just like our raised beds in the sense that, like, last night we had, or yesterday we had almost another inch of rain, and before that we had an inch and a half of rain. So the ground is plenty muddy right now, but on these no-till spots that we have, I'm out here working the very next day. I mean, of course, it's had, you know, it's afternoon right now, so it's had all day of sunshine to sort of dry things out. But still, if I were in the middle of a plowed field right now, there's no way we would be planting these onions today. So that's one thing I do like about raised beds and about these beds right here, is the simple fact that we can get out here and work. And at times when we could have never done that. You know, there's no way we would have been over here in this tilled up garden or up yonder in our big fields working. There's no way, absolutely no way we could be doing it. I'm really interested in seeing how these onions turn out in this bed. But the soil's loose. It's got everything it needs. And Once they are in here for probably about a week, I'll let them sort of establish a little bit of root system, and I'll go back and fertilize them with something high in nitrogen, because onions, I have found, onions like nitrogen. That's a little one there.
It
Look at how this dirt looks. It's crazy. It's almost like the dirt in our raised beds. It's so pretty. Dang, you reckon you got me a big enough stick?
Right, do your little sticky hand.
I've done broke 2.
Oh.
He did. He ain't moving.
You think our onions will work good here?
I think it'll work real good. I'm glad they're here. I think they're out, because that way they're out of the way, and I don't have to hurry up and pull them up. You know what I'm saying?
And we don't have to, at least we haven't yet. Deer has never bothered the onions for us.
Deer eat onions?
That's what I'm saying. So I think we'll be fine out here, like planting onions out here.
Yeah. And it won't take up room in my raised bed.
And it's not going to take up room in the raised beds, and it's not going to take room over here either.
Right.
We have that all down through there is yellow onions. They're kind of hard to see right now. That's a pretty good row of yellow onions. So, and then in this row, we're going to take our bundle of red onions and put it in this. How many we got here, Jacob? We've got almost these 2 full beds, ain't we? I'm a little disappointed. I was really hoping we'd have enough to finish both of these beds all the way out, but
We still had a lot of onions.
yeah, that's a lot of onions planted here. To give you a little better perspective, this whole row here is planted almost to the leaf pile out here, and this whole row is planted to about right there.
Right here.
There you go. So all of this on the top side is red onions, and all of these are yellow onions. It's actually 2 different varieties of yellow onions across the bottom. But I don't know. I'm going to go in here and see what Megan says. We might plant some carrots. What do you think? So since we have a little spot of this bed out here left that didn't have onions in it, I'm going to try something here. I've got carrots, and I've never done carrots quite this way. You know, carrots sometimes can be a little hard to germinate. They have to stay wet. So I'm thinking I'm going to rake back that layer of hay that I've got on there and sort of scratch up the ground and put my carrots in, and then put a really thin layer of hay back over top of that. And since I have a pound pack of carrot seeds, if this doesn't work, well, I mean, it's fine. I'm totally fine if this don't work, but I just want to try it because carrots is something we never have really good luck with. So I'm all for trying different ways of doing it and seeing how they work. The reason I think that's going to work is because of how wet it is underneath that mulch. And so if I rake all that back and then scatter it back on top of it really thin, surely the carrot seeds will come up through it. But like I say, if they don't, it's fine. I have way more carrot seeds that we can plant somewhere else. So let's try this and see. We'll have to pull all that right there out. Goodness gracious, look at all the seeds in there. That's a lot of carrot seeds.
Wow.
That's a lot of seeds.
I did not realize how little they was.
What we like to do when we plant carrots is just shake them out like that right there. And we'll go back and thin them out later on once they start to come up, because that will be too thick. And sort of
Mix all them seeds up into the ground.
make sure they get ground contact. And then we will take and just lightly scatter that on them. That's just a real light, really extremely light coverage of this old hay on there, so I feel like they'll probably push through. But if they don't, like I said, we still got a whole bag of seeds left.
No, we hardly used any. That'll probably last us
Years.
years.
I don't know why I bought a whole pound of seeds. But the good thing is this dirt out here is good, nice, loose soil. So, you know, it should be good growing dirt for the seeds. I mean, for the carrots. So, we will see.
All right, so with a milk cow, she kind of feeds the whole hillside. So I like to make the chickens a little concoction. A lot of times I put corn scratch in there, but sunflower seeds a day, and they'll work on that. And some stuff you read says chickens are lactose intolerant. But I tell y'all, I done this for what, a year when I was milking Belle.
Yeah.
That now this ain't something they get every day, but I give them to them about once a week, something like that, and it never seemed to bother them. And boy, when you got something free to feed them, it's all right.
Yep, and we ain't got no pigs to feed it to right now.
Yeah, and I ain't got no pigs to give it to anyway, so.
So look at that. They tearing that up.
Yeah, like when they first took a bite, they were like, oh my gosh.
Our chickens are finally feeling generous again.
Yep. Too bad can't get rid of no eggs.
Yeah, I know. We need some pigs to feed them to. You can't hardly give a dozen eggs away around here.
Not this time of year.
Everybody and their brother put on Facebook they got eggs for sale. There's today's bounty. I feel like it was actually more the last couple of days. But we're a little bit early today, ain't we?
Yeah.
But still, it's a lot more than what it was just a few weeks ago. We've got more eggs than we know what to do with. Turn around real quick and show them our peach trees, Megan.
Yep.
Can you see them?
They're blooming. I figured they would be.
Yeah, I bet we don't get no peaches.
No, but, I mean, this has happened before one time and we got some.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't have no cold weather at all in the forecast until I keep hearing towards the end of March we're supposed to turn back cold, and so it wouldn't surprise me if it did.
We're gonna get some supper fixed tonight. I'm gonna show y'all a couple of things. I'm gonna show you another way that I make biscuits, a little bit easier way. This is the first way that I learned how to make biscuits, what I'm gonna show you tonight. And I've had several people, I guess a lot of people come over from the country ham video, and if you hadn't seen the country ham video, please be sure to check that out. But we got quite a few new folks on the channel from that, and had some people asking how to actually cook the country ham. So I'm going to show you that tonight too. Now, any of y'all that's been around for any amount of time, I know you feel like, golly, that girl makes breakfast for supper all the time. And actually, we do eat it quite a bit, but I'd rather have breakfast for supper than breakfast for breakfast. So, so that's what I'm going to be showing you. But the first thing we're going to do is our biscuits. I've got my oven sitting on about 450. I've done it on 400. I've done it on 375. The key is just make sure to watch your biscuits. When they get as brown as you want them, take them out. So first thing I'm gonna do, get my little pan. I'm gonna cook them in this little sheet pan. I'm gonna get them, get this hot. So I'm just gonna stick that in the oven while we get this mixed up. First thing you're gonna need is 2 cups of self-rising flour. Then we're gonna put us a couple of good tablespoons of butter. And we're using the homemade butter, y'all. We sure have been enjoying it, and I figured out Candy is a butter making cow. I'm gonna tell you. Alright. Let's get us a couple of tablespoons of that. Now you're gonna want to work this into your flour like you've seen me do on other biscuits. And y'all, everybody makes biscuits different, and I make them 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways. So, man, as long as they taste good, I don't think there's no wrong way to do it. You see how that flour is getting kind of coarse looking? That's what I'm looking for. Now, you can use regular milk, or you can use buttermilk, or you can use regular milk with a little vinegar in it. Anyway, anything you've got, it's good. In my opinion, anyway. So, I'm going to put about a cup of this buttermilk now. You'll notice this buttermilk's not thick like buttermilk from the store. This is my fresh buttermilk, so it's not fermented or anything. Or cultured, not fermented, cultured. And then we're just going to stir that in, make us a decent little dough. There we go. So you want to mix your biscuits just until most of the flour's wet. So it looks good right there. Alright, I'm going to get my little pan out. Grease it with a little butter. I like to get me a good layer of butter on the bottom there. So I like to make me a ball. Just get me a handful. I don't want to work it too much. A ball. Depending on how big your biscuits are, of course, is depending on how many you're going to get. So, made about 5 there. We're just going to mash them down a little bit. And those should be done in about 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Alright, I'm getting some fried apples going here. I figured that'd go pretty good with the ham. So, stick us a little butter in there. And let those start cooking. So right here we've got us a nice big piece of slice of country ham that you saw slice in that video. Now when I freeze it, I don't cut off this big layer of fat in that skin piece. I wait till when I cook it, and I'll tell you why. It goes good as, you know, in some beans and green beans, stuff like that for seasoning. So I'll just put it in a little Ziploc bag, stick it in the fridge for when I cook green beans or something this week. That's just what I like to do with it, and that's why I don't cut it off. Now I'm going to take this piece of ham here, and we're going to cut this bone out. We're going to do the same thing with this bone. That's going to be for my seasoning. Now, I don't wash it. Some people prefer to wash it. I don't think it's that salty. I mean, it is salty, but I've done it both ways. I've washed it and I've not washed it. And I mean, I actually prefer it not washed, and Andy does too. So I just make us some nice little pieces here. And it's kind of got some lines in it that you can follow. Or you can cook the whole piece. I prefer them like this. Jacob and Andy kind of like the big pieces, but I'd rather just have them this way. So those right there, I've got my frying pan heating up. And those are just going to go in the frying pan. Get them a little brown on either side. And they're done, y'all. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want to take it another step, you can make some red-eye gravy. I'll link that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. I won't be making any tonight, but I do make it on occasion. That's Andy's favorite. There we go. We'll just let that cook for a little bit, and we're going to get these biscuits out. Alright, that's done enough for me and Andy. The lighting is weird in here, so it doesn't always show stuff as brown as what it looks in real life. But they are a nice little brown color on top. So we're just going to go behind here. Put some butter on there. Now, they ain't the prettiest things, you know, as far as being perfectly shaped and all that, but you will love the taste of them. They serve the purpose as a good piece of bread. That's for sure. Look at that. Beautiful. And like I said, that's done enough for me and Andy. We ain't I don't care for real done bread. But if you want them doner than that, just cook them longer. They ended up cooking like 14 minutes, so, on 450. See how it's starting to get a little brown there? Now I've got my frying pan on low, but this is a gas stove, so my low is going to be a little different than an electric stove. But you just pretty much, I mean, you're cooking it in the frying pan until it gets a little brown on it. Now, I will tell you, home-cured country ham is not as salty as the store-bought stuff. So, the store-bought stuff, I probably would wash it, but the ham, like home-cured ham, I think it's delicious just the way it is. So, you know, everybody's taste buds are different though, and we're going to get some bacon cooked. This right here is our homegrown bacon that we cure ourselves from our pigs. If you hadn't seen that video, be sure to check that out. But once you've had homemade bacon, man, it's hard to go back, I'm telling you. It is so, so good. It's a little hard to cook, like it's a learning curve to cook it, but it is so good. So my apples are getting good and soft. So, I'm going to add a little more butter. I'm going to sprinkle in some brown sugar to kind of make us like a sauce, I guess you'd say. Now, let's stir that in. Now, we're just going to do a little sprinkle of cinnamon across there. We're just going to stir that in. I love cooked apples. Look at there, what a spread, y'all. That look pretty good, don't it? Alright, so supper is served. Did I do all right on the bacon?
Yeah, boy, that bacon's just right.
I did.
Sure.
I did have ham.
Jacob done eat his ham.
Yeah, he done swallowed it whole. But anyways, guys, hope y'all enjoyed this video tonight and hope y'all learned a little something. And anyways, till we see y'all on the next one, y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye.